Well, unfortunately, SpaceX's full static fire of Ship 35 did not go so well last night. In fact, we're all waiting on word from SpaceX as to what exactly happened, but it's unclear if SpaceX will ever actually tell us. However, people watching the video could tell instantly that something went wrong. Now, this came shortly after a successful static fire that SpaceX had, only involving a single engine, demonstrating an in-space burn. They posted about it on X, and they said Starship is preparing for their 9th flight test. But now it really is up in the air as to when Flight 9 will be. Granted, it's great that this happened on the ground. Obviously, we don't want to lose another ship during flight. However, as you can see from this clip from NASA spaceflight, something goes wrong about 25 seconds into the video. In fact, slowed down, you can see something fly out of the flame trench and then a blue flash follows. So now Ship 35 has left Massey's, the testing site where this happened last night, and is being rolled back to the production site. So I want to know from you guys in the comments as we await more information, how long do you think that it will take for SpaceX to launch Flight 9? And remember, this static fire was notably different from the single engine static fire, not only because it was all 6 engines, but the test lasted about 30 seconds. And that's where things started to go wrong. In fact, during both Flight 7 and Flight 8, the point to where we lost the ship or the explosion happened was around that 7.5-minute mark for both of those. So something is happening that seems very similar around the same time. So hopefully they can solve it on the ground, and as much as this sucks and is a setback, and I'm sure that the team is not happy about this, it's way better than having it blow up again and having another FAA investigation. We now have some pretty concrete information, at least as to what the president is planning for NASA cuts. NASA posted President Trump's fiscal year 26 budget revitalizes human space exploration. And I'll read you a quote from it. They are planning a transition to the Artemis campaign for a more sustainable, cost-effective approach to lunar exploration. If their plan is approved by Congress, the SLS rocket and Orion capsule will be retired after Artemis 3, paving the way for more cost-effective next-generation commercial systems that will support subsequent NASA lunar missions. So this is not completely set in stone yet. Congress may oppose some of these changes, and this will be a months-long process. It takes time to finalize the budget. Quote, this proposal includes investments to simultaneously pursue exploration of the moon and Mars while still prioritizing critical science and technology research. So they plan to have an increased commitment to human space exploration in pursuit of exploration of both the moon and Mars by allocating more than $7 billion for lunar exploration and introducing $1 billion in new investments for Mars-focused programs. The budget ensures America's human space exploration efforts remain unparalleled, innovative, and efficient. There will also be a refocus of science and space technology resources to efficiently execute high-priority research, which people are not happy about this one. Consistent with the administration's priority of returning to the moon before China and putting an American on Mars, the budget will advance priority science and research missions and projects, ending financially unsustainable programs, including Mars sample return. It emphasizes investments in transformative space technologies while responsibly shifting projects better suited for private sector leadership. And as I mentioned, transition to Artemis campaign to a more sustainable, cost-effective approach to lunar exploration. So basically, SLS will be retired after Artemis 3. The budget would also end the Gateway program with the opportunity to repurpose already produced components for use in other missions. Also, to continue the process of transitioning the International Space Station to commercial replacements in 2030, focusing onboard research on efforts critical to the exploration of the moon and Mars. The budget reflects the upcoming transition to a more cost-effective, open commercial approach to human activities in low Earth orbit by reducing the space station's crew size and onboard research, preparing for the safe decommissioning of the station and its replacement by commercial space stations. It also works to minimize duplication of efforts and most efficiently steward the allocation of American taxpayer dollars, blah, blah, blah. So the budget will also ensure continued elimination of any funding toward misaligned DEIA initiatives. So obviously, I think some of this stuff still needs to be flushed out a little bit. So reading the article from Eric Berger from Ars Technica, who has been covering SLS from the beginning, I got a little bit more insight into what exactly these cuts would mean specifically. And it's important to note that this budget cut would be a 25% cut in the total budget from about $25 billion to $18.8 billion. But one thing that Eric points out is that while this budget would introduce $1 billion in new investments for Mars-focused programs, there is no information on what these programs would be. The document also states that, quote, the budget phases out grossly expensive and delayed Space Launch System, rocket, and Orion capsule after 3 flights. SLS alone costs $4 billion per launch and is 140% over budget. The budget funds a program to replace SLS and Orion flights to the moon with more cost-effective commercial systems that would support more ambitious subsequent lunar missions. However, as Eric points out, there are not any details about the commercial systems. NASA, of course, has contracted with SpaceX and Blue Origin to develop reusable landers for the moon, and both of these systems include vehicles to move from Earth orbit to the moon. So I definitely can't say I'm surprised to see some of this. Of course, it's not finalized yet, but this is the space news of the day. So I'll keep you updated as we get more information about what's going on with SpaceX after that static fire. But I wanted to get this out there as soon as possible. Thanks so much for supporting my channel, and I'll see you in the next video.